How's it going, guys? I've had a question that's just been killing me. Do matte boxes actually do anything? Now right here I've got my Canon 80D setup rig, which you can actually see the build of this in my previous video. This is a really awesome setup, and this setup came with a very nice matte box, which I've seen on all of the professional shoots, but really I don't know if they do that much. So to my understanding, matte boxes are just for preventing lens flares. And according to the internet, that is also true, but matte boxes also hold glass or plastic filters in front of the lens, and it acts sort of like a lens hood. Now to do this test, I'm going to do an in-studio and outside real-world test, shooting in various lighting conditions that may cause lens flares, and then we're going to talk about when you want to use a matte box and when not to, because lens flares can actually be sort of an artistic choice. So to do this in-studio test, we've got this nice portable LED light, which I'll leave the link below. It's like under 25 bucks. I use this like, you know, the B-roll shots where you have just the lighting of this. I am always using this light for that, like solely just this light and the colorful lights behind me. It just runs off of a Sony battery, and you can actually adjust the lighting and it lasts super long. I absolutely love this light. So we're gonna use this to try to get lens flares with and without the matte box, and to see if there's that big of a difference or if anything else weirdly happens when you don't use a matte box with lights like this. Let's do the in-studio test right now. Alright, so I got everything set up. We got the 80D shooting the Samyang T1.5 85mm lens, and we got the matte box on. So I'm going to be moving this light around. I'm pointing it in a couple of different directions in an attempt to get some lens flares. Let's see, I don't know if we're might be a little too far away for this to actually work. I'm going to try a little bit back some more. Just kind of moving it back and forth here. This is what it looks like with a matte box on. Alright, now I'm going to take the matte box off. And now we're going to try the same thing, trying to get some lens flares. I'm also going to zoom out just a touch. Yep, when I zoomed out, I see a little bit more of a difference here. So like right here, the light's not in the shot, but you can definitely see how it's kind of ghosting on the lens. It's not a full lens flare. I guess you would call it a lens flare. It's just sort of making a gradient on the top of the lens there. Now I'm going to try it zoomed out with the matte box, and you see it actually takes longer for that gradient to come in because it is blocking more light, just as we expected. Alright, that was pretty interesting. Now let's get out for a real-world test. Alright, so here we have a real-world test using the matte box. We got it on right now. If we point it directly at the sun, you can actually see a little bit of a line right there where it cuts out the light. So if we take the matte box completely off, now you'll see that there's always a lens flare going on no matter where you point it when we are out here. So in conclusion, matte boxes do kind of what they're intended to do. If your light source is behind these flaps right here, it will block it out fairly well. With this guy, it is somewhat adjustable, and there are little seams on the edges where light could get in, but it does a fairly decent job at blocking out light. Personally, I feel like it really completes the look of a cinema rig to have a nice big matte box on the front. It really looks like you know what you're doing. Also, you know, it says online that you can put filters in here. This one in particular does not really have that ability, but that's probably because you're just going to put it on the front of your lens anyways. And finally, there's one other interesting thing that I kind of noted, and I don't know if it's going to be really evident to you at home because YouTube compresses the footage a lot, but do you know how football players put a little black stripe on the bottom, like under their eyes, and it's supposed to like attract the light to the black so it doesn't get in their eyes, so you have a little bit better contrast or something like that? I think something like that might be going on here because it's just so much black around it, so extra light might be absorbed into the matte box, so only the clearest and purest light is going to the lens. That's a pretty far stretch, but I think something like that might happen, giving you a cleaner image because it just looks really, really nice when you use a matte box. So once again, the link to this guy is down below if you want to build a setup like this. Once again, I made a video talking about how to do all of this. That was my last video. Check it out after this video. That's gonna wrap it up. I'm gonna be using matte boxes in the future because it actually does make a difference. It's not just for looks. Thank you for watching, and as always, don't forget to keep it pro.